Welcome to Exploring with D-Rob. Let's go. Welcome back. Up in the gorge again this morning. Today we're going to go out and try to do CloudSplitter arch and overlook. For CloudSplitter parking, you want to come around through the native tunnel, follow 77 around to 715. Whenever you get to the 715 split, stay right on 715. Today I am going to do the CloudSplitter direct trail up to CloudSplitter, which will be the shortest route. There's a couple longer routes. I'll mention those as I come around through here. The first one's going to be to start at the suspension bridge parking. That'll give you roughly 2 miles around the CloudSplitter from the parking area at the suspension bridge. Roughly a mile and a half from the 715 split. Come around to the suspension bridge parking, make a right down there to a gravel parking area. That's your first option for parking. Like I said, that adds makes it be about 2 miles from the parking area there around the CloudSplitter. What you'll want to do is follow the suspension bridge, the trail from the parking area out to the suspension bridge, which is roughly half a mile. From there, you'll make a left uphill to follow the shelter we trace. It'll cut across 715 and follow around for about a mile and a half around to the CloudSplitter trail. Second option for parking. Right here, you'll see a rock and a sign on the right side of the road there. It's where the shelter we crosses 715. Your next two options for parking are two side of the road areas marked with the brown P sign there. There was the first one back there. Here's the second one. Not a lot of room there, maybe 1 or 2 cars in each spot, but you'll just follow back up to the shelter we trace from that parking area, follow around for roughly a mile and a half to the CloudSplitter trail. Roughly half a mile by road, you'll come out through here and see a well-beaten path uphill to the left. That's going to be the trail I'll be taking today. That's the CloudSplitter direct trail. To access it, you could park back there at one of the parking areas next to the suspension bridge, do a half-mile road walk out to the trail. I'm going to drive on out past here. There's another large pull-off up here on the right. It's probably got enough room for 3 or 4 cars. If you noticed the gravel parking area there that we just passed, that's not a legal parking area, even though you will see people park there sometimes. This is the parking area we're going to take today. Another option for parking would be the Bison Way overflow parking, which is right before Bison Way, or even parking at Bison Way and working your way around to the shelter we trace. Good morning. Welcome back to the channel. I'm going to do CloudSplitter today from where I parked at here. I've got to do about a 2/10 of a mile road walk back up to the CloudSplitter direct trail. From there, being the shortest route, it's maybe 3/10 up to CloudSplitter itself. Gonna do the overlook, then go over and go back in the little cave area, check out the arch as well. As we walk back down to where the trail begins, you'll see a couple cut off posts over there. thinking there used to be a parking area there. Not sure. It's been a while. Anyway, that'll be your sign to start looking for the trail. It cuts uphill here to the right. And uphill is very up. As you'll notice coming up the hill, it is a well-beaten path. If you come during or after a rain, this will be a pretty muddy trail. It is a water runoff, so keep that in mind. Today though, pretty dry, as it's been way too long since we've had some rain. Guess I should have mentioned that today's hike, with the exception of a little short piece of the shelter we trace, is going to be all off trail or user created trails, so keep that in mind before you come try this hike. I've just got to the top of the hill. From the road up the CloudSplitter direct trail to the shelter we trace is 1/10 of a mile. Keep in mind that 1/10 of a mile is pretty well straight up. Gonna have to lose this flannel shirt, then we'll make our way on up towards CloudSplitter. After you make it up the CloudSplitter direct trail, come up, intersects with the shelter we trace. I mentioned earlier you could park at Bison Way and come around the shelter we trace. A lot of people like to pair CloudSplitter with Indian Staircase, and they'll start at Bison Way, do Indian Staircase, and make their way around the shelter we trace around here to CloudSplitter. But anyway, once you make it to the intersection here at the shelter we trace, you'll want to make a left, come out through here. You'll see the trail blaze right here. Going to make our way out through here to a user trail that cuts uphill to the right. Probably, I'm guesstimate a 1/10 or maybe 2/10 of a mile. I'll update here in a moment. Also might mention, getting into fall, got cool or cold mornings. Still gets pretty warm during the daytime. If you're a member of any of the groups on Facebook, you likely saw a lot of copperhead postings. This is the time of year when they'll really come out to the ridge tops and rock outcrops, looking to take in some of that midday sun. Trying to get warm. Well, I was pretty close. At just over 1/10 of a mile, you'll come up to a tree with a trail blaze and a shelter we trace turtle marker. And you'll see a highway headed up the hill to the right here. This is the CloudSplitter trail. And just me guessing, with the amount of traffic this is getting, this is probably going to be one of the trails that the Forest Service decommissions. Once we get up here and I show you the arch, I'll show you another reason it's likely to be one of the ones that the Forest Service decommissions as well. I'll mention again, this is all pretty much off trail. You know your skill level and abilities. If at any point you get to somewhere you don't feel safe or comfortable, just backtrack your way back down out of here. Don't want to risk injury just to see overlook. And it looks like since my last visit, we've acquired a new rope. This is a nice big piece of rope. Looks to be in good shape. The actual route this rope goes up over here is a route that would actually be doable without rope, with the proper footwear. And over here to the left, we also have another piece of rope. So got a couple options to get up through here. Looks like the crack where the little tree used to be that everybody used for so long. Looks like nobody's probably using that anymore. But there's your two options of getting up to the top of CloudSplitter. If you come over to this left side, a lot less rock to climb, but this side is steeper. And if you come up the kind of middle section here, you got a little more rock to work up, but you got a little heavier duty rope as well. If you look on over to the right, you'll see a crack up through there. It's manageable to climb up that crack without a rope and get up to where the little cave area and arch is. We'll head over that way, but first, let's head up here and check out the overlook. Well, I probably should have just recorded that. Came up through there with my trekking pole and camera in one hand. Would have been an interesting video. Probably been a lot of looking at the ground, but you could have heard me huffing it up through there. Find your easiest way up to the top. We'll work our way out here to the overlook. Once you make it to this point though, not a bad overlook from here at all. As you make your way up the top of CloudSplitter, as you overlook the creek, you can look across and see a rock outcrop just across the valley there. If you've ever heard of the Nowhere Trail, that'll bring you up by this overlook. From over there, you get a good look straight across at CloudSplitter Arch. As you make your way up to the top of CloudSplitter, you work your way through the small patch of woods that's on top. As you work your way across through here, you'll see it begin to open up. And if you're familiar with where CloudSplitter is from Chimney Top Rock, this is the large rock outcrop you see looking back to your right from Chimney Top. One of the best views in the gorge. If we zoom in a little bit, straight across here is one of the overlooks off of Chimney Top. I think in the Hinterlands book, that may be Chimney Top Trail M, maybe. I'll have to double check that. As we pan on around to the right, we'll zoom in some. If you look right in this area, that's Chimney Top Rock. Just to the right of that, off in the distance right there, that is Hanson's Point. And just to the right of that, right here, is Revenue's Rock. Of the winter time, maybe later on in fall as the trees begin to lose their leaves, right up through here, following along the road, you can see the Red River as well. After double checking this overlook that you can see straight ahead, I mentioned I thought was Chimney Top Trail M, is Chimney Top Trail P. As you will notice in this small wooded area, there's a little flat area here where people have camped. Just keep in mind, you set up camp here, This overlook here is one of the most visited in the gorge. You're gonna catch a lot of traffic likely if you set your camp up here, so just be ready for that. Also keep in mind, not a lot of trees up here, so if you like to have a campfire, might want to consider bringing some wood up with you. As you work your way back down the other side of CloudSplitter, if you look over to the right, you see a long rock outcrop over here. If you follow that ridge out to the end, and then kind of down to the right over here, that's the Glady Visitor Center. And if you can see this ridge right here, not the main one right here that you can see closest to us, but the one just past that, that's the ridge that's home to Dina Arch. Wind's starting to pick up a little bit. I'm going to make my way back down through here. I'll go over and check out the little cave area and CloudSplitter Arch. Just want to work your way back down, find the easiest route down to the middle section here where the rope brought you up to. Shoes with good traction's a good idea if you come to do this hike. You'll want to come around past the green rope here, and you'll see the rope leads over from this tree to that tree. That's where you want to cut across through there at. As I mentioned, it is possible to come up this gap here in the rock up to where this tree is. There used to be a little more dirt and roots and stuff up through there, but I guess time and people have wore that away. Anyway, work your way back through the split here. Kind of a fat man squeeze area. And try to do this and hold the camera at the same time. Probably should have took my pack off. Sound like I did going through fat man squeeze at the natural bridge. These roots are washed out around, makes it a little tougher to get back through here. But it looks like we've got a little makeshift ladder here. Should make it a little easier to get started back through there. Well, made it this far. That's only half the battle. Now, since I'm wanting to photograph this, I have to get back through here with my pack. And it's going to be kind of like fitting a square peg in a round hole. Definitely should have thought about having somebody come with me to photograph this. This is a workout in itself, just getting this bag back through here. Easiest way of getting up and down each side of this little tube section of it is to kind of wedge yourself against the wall in front of and behind you. As you can see here, it's a little tight on this side coming out. I'll work my way down to that flat area, and out there where you can see the sun shining in, that's where the arch is. That's where we're headed. It don't look too bad from here, but that little area right there is a pretty good workout. Anyway, made it through the hard part. Work our way over here, check out the arch. CloudSplitter Arch. As I mentioned, CloudSplitter trail is one I look to be decommissioned when the Forest Service goes about their plan that's been talked about. As you'll see right here, got a lot of spray paint, pretty common in cave areas. Not sure why people feel they need to do that, but leaves an eyesore, and that's kind of thing that happens that gets trails decommissioned right there. Here's the outside of the arch looking back in. Guess people think this is cool. Got news for you, this is the opposite of cool. But enough ranting. Check out the view from here. Got a few shots of the arch in with the Canon. Gonna pack my stuff up and start my way back out of here. If shots turned out any good, here's the shots. This is a prime example of not trusting things. As you can see, all this stick here is moving, is wedged between the walls and held by this loose strap. So while this does kind of assist you up through there, just know at any point it could give out. You could take a pretty good fall, risk injury. This is a workout, but for those wondering if you can or can't fit through there, just know that 6'3", 270 fits through there. May be like putting a square peg in a round hole, but it will go. One more thing about the ropes that's left out in the woods. While this one seems to be pretty new and in good shape, you never want to trust a rope that you know nothing about with 100% of your body weight. Do as much as you can without the rope. Use it sparingly, if at all. I forgot to mention earlier, I believe, from parking to the base of CloudSplitter here was 7/10 of a mile. So if you just did an out and back to a CloudSplitter here, you'd be looking at right at 1.5 miles. Get back down to the truck, just gonna backtrack the way I came. Get back here to the base of the rock, go down, follow the drainage back down to the shelf we trace. As I mentioned on the way up here, come to this tree, you'll have no problem at all finding the user path that heads uphill. That's wider than the trail. This is literally a highway headed up the hill there. This has really took some abuse since the last time I was here, which has only been probably not even a year ago. Anyway, sounded like another little bit of a ramp from shelf we trace. We'll make a left on the trace, head back out towards the CloudSplitter direct trail. As you work your way back out towards the CloudSplitter direct trail we came up, again, it's wide and well beaten like the CloudSplitter path. You have no trouble picking it up as it goes down to the right here. You'll also notice one of my favorite things, a big tree growing over top of a rock. As you come back down to the road, you'll make a left, head back down towards parking. Today, being a weekday, probably ain't as likely to have much traffic on the road. If you do this on the weekend though, try your best to stay over off the edge of the road, out of the way of traffic, because we know how busy it gets up here on the weekends. If you notice, there is a faint trail along the riverside of the road part of the way out through here. It's a good idea to take this if you can. I mentioned these two parking areas just past where the shelter we trace crosses 715. I'm going to make use of one of these parking areas right now. Go down and check out the suspension bridge while I'm here. As you walk up the road here, you'll see a sign here on each side of the road. Here you'll see the trail cutting up into the woods. Here, cuts down towards the river. The leaves wasn't on the trees, you could see the suspension bridge from here. But as of right now, you can't. The suspension bridge is probably 100 yards or less from the road down here. And we'll check it out. As you come down from the road, you come down right here above the cables. Just work your way down. Got a couple folks enjoying their walk across the suspension bridge, so I'm going to hang out here a few minutes and let them enjoy their time here. I'm going to go ahead and sign the video off today from here at the suspension bridge. I hope you enjoyed the adventure up to CloudSplitter, checking out the overlook as well as the little cave in the arch. Keep in mind, all that is pretty much all off trail. Takes a lot of upper body strength, especially getting back in the arch. Definitely not going to be for everybody. Also, keep in mind, anytime you come across a rope, be sure to test it. Never test it by putting all your body weight on it, though. Definitely don't want to get hurt just because you're trying to go see something up here. But hope you enjoyed today's adventure. If you would, give me a like. If you enjoyed the channel, please consider subscribing. Hope to see you guys again soon. Thanks for watching.